All right, so today we're going to talk about David Cronenberg. So I saw the video, made sure I saw it, sent me from the Criterion Collection, and it just shows just the kind of meta of the situation. I think he was picking three different types of works that inspired him, and then I think in a contemporary of David Lynch, which I know you
hmm
recommended. Um, but it just shows how much depth there is with Cronenberg, and I know the other directors of his era and any era really, of just what it takes to make these artists, their upbringing and what inspires them, and they clearly bring that work into their filmmaking, which is how many different parts is that to make films, right? It's just um all right, so well, I think what inspired to discuss this today with you was on your encouragement. I saw recently Videodrome. So I think it was in 1982 or 1983 because I think Scanners came
83.
after that.
Nope, it
83.
was Scanners was second. If there's like a trilogy for this one, for at least the way I would group it, would be The Brood 1979, Scanners 1980 or 81, and then Videodrome would be like the final. I
So
think he
why
would
is
do
that a
this
trilogy? Why? Tell me why
for
that
me
is.
just thematically. He had coming off. In the 70s, he had done Fast Company, which was like a racing movie. He had done a few student films, but nothing like commercial. I would say if you were a curious, you're as a fan, I know Maddox like would not know David Cronenberg's early work unless you're looking at his early work. You wouldn't have any reason just to stumble upon it. After Fast Company, he would
Yeah, I
do The
like my body
Brood.
horror.
The Brood is kind of the first in that cycle with the more mass appeal, and it was part of that Canadian exploitation. So we had The Brood, Scanners, and Videodrome. All three of those had a very similar body horror element. They also had
Definitely.
very good actors in all three of them. We had Oliver Reed, we had Michael Ironside, and we had James Woods. We also had Deborah Harry.
I
But
think I saw
it's
the first two, The Brood and Scanners, and I think Videodrome was the one left
Mhm.
of that
and
trilogy.
I would just say it's the thematic trilogy because I think a lot of times a lot of artists work in trilogies and don't know it. It's just something that shows up again and again, and this one just feels like those three are connected. Like
What do you
when
mean
he
they
would
don't
do it,
know it? Is it just kind of how they're
so
drifting as far as their art and they're not aware
sometimes
maybe what work is pulling them?
well, Hitchcock would say, or you keep making the same movie over and over again. Like every Hitchcock movie is about the wrong person being chased, in a
Yeah.
way. And I think I remember I mentioned maybe to you the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and then the next movie, Snatch. It was the same idea,
Right.
and sometimes in a trilogy, the second one's the first one, but better. Like Evil Dead, we'll say that Evil Dead, the first half of or first section of Evil Dead 2 is a retelling of Evil Dead 1,
How
because
is it?
because they had issues with the rights when they released it, that they didn't have rights to the footage, so. It's a condensed alternate version of the first one before you see the second one, which is like a cult favorite. And then the third one is completely different. That one goes back in time to like medieval ages.
Hmm.
It's
Medieval.
it's
Okay. Well,
yeah,
that's.
it's
I just couldn't
fascinating.
get into that. I know it's a pop culture
I think
phenomenon. I don't know
for
what it is. What
you
is it? Campbell
for
and the Chainsaw?
yeah, for you to
I
get
know I'm
into it.
minimizing.
No, I'd watch the first one. Look
Hmm.
at the budget of how much it cost to make.
Hmm.
And then there's a story of Sam Raimi having someone like tell him his movie really stunk. Like he put his life savings into making a movie, so I believe it's
For
similar
the
to
first
like,
one, he did.
but well before that he had like short films, so
Uh-huh.
he had tried charging for that. Similar to like Jim Carrey's speech, that Church of Freedom of Thought. Sam Raimi had this dedication, and If anything, I think you might get a respect for the movie of having respect for him and his effort to get it made. I think that sometimes helps for film history and for people to want to get into it. Like the story behind the movie sometimes gets you into it. I know Island of Dr. Moreau. For me, that's what got me into the movie is the story behind the making of it, and Superman 2, and sometimes the things that go wrong. But anyway, we're talking
You know,
about,
that's interesting. I just want to touch on that. Then we'll go back to Cronenberg.
yeah.
Just the story of it, like the behind the scenes that gets you involved. And I'm kind of I guess wrestling with that just here on this platform with Substack, where it it makes sense, but I'm just trying to reconcile it when uh, followers or subscribers they are more interested to read your work, let's say, if they know who you are or what you are about.
Well, of
Is he a
course.
good guy or good girl? How does he feel about my work? What is his ideas versus just a cold, open, I don't know who this person is, but I like that subject. I mean, I guess that could work, but
So
it
it's
doesn't seem the way just human psychology goes. It's like I need to resonate with that, especially if you don't have a reputation, which I don't. You don't. We're building that. So versus the one I keep bringing up, the Stephen King, he built it. He's known. People know who he is. He doesn't have to continuously say that. I mean, it's been established
well,
through
yeah.
his writing, through
That's why.
his screenwriting credits, his interviews,
Yeah.
etc.
Well, that's the difference in
Book signings.
the platform. It's like the action versus doing.
Yeah.
You probably mentioned this in some of your works. There's plenty of people complain, well, I never got to do this, I never got to do this, and then it's like, well, it's, every day is a conscious choice. And having seen that up close and personal, like people like mentally choosing to be the victim, and I'm like, well, they're taking a lot of time and effort out of the day, and you see
What
stuff
they're
like that.
choosing, yeah, to spend their time on.
Exactly,
So,
but people like the drama, and that's the other thing. It's that behind the scenes stuff, and even with Cronenberg, one of the there was a Canadian exploitation period where the Canadian government was giving large tax breaks, like very large, for Canadian-made films. So that's like one of those ways to stimulate the market, and um, Cronenberg was probably the top of that field, but it's would be called can exploitation. It's like one
hmm,
word sometimes.
what
Yeah,
does that mean?
a Canadian exploitation. So it's like
Oh,
movies
can.
just,
I got it.
you know, us can.
Hmm.
They have that for pretty much every type of exploitation. Just in general, they have it for like World War II, Nazi exploitation movies.
So, what
It's
does that mean by exploitation in a
so they're
artistic sense or
exploiting the fact
filmmaking?
of it, like black exploitation, like Jackie Brown, um, or even Foxy Brown, the original
So,
movie.
a kind of
It's like
theme or a
the
stereotype, a concept
yeah, and they kind of
that they're
push it.
exaggerating, or
They're exaggerating it. It's also that's the sole drive behind it. Often the exploitation movies weren't considered in the same vein as Hollywood cinema. That's where Joe Bob Briggs really is an important figure in cinema.
tell me
He
about him. He has a what the heck? He has a
he has a Shutter show, which is basically an update of his original show, which was Monster Vision, which I believe has been on numerous networks over the years. So he's always had the same concept of introducing a movie and then doing it between the breaks. So Shudder actually gives you that full experience with newer episodes that he's done over the past few years, which is fantastic. Highly recommended if you
and
ever
what is
want.
his role? He's a critic,
Yes,
a film
so he
critic.
started in the 70s, 80s as a critic because he's a very witty guy.
Hmm.
He he noticed a lot of movies weren't being reviewed, and where he was at in Texas, or he was in the South, the only way to see a lot of those movies would be on drive-in. And the drive-in was the equivalent of like Grindhouse. That was the
Yeah.
equivalency of theaters. And a lot of people say they missed the drive-in. It's just the experience was varied, but it's not exactly the best sound. It's a good experience, though, I think, for
I think
that
they
type of
still have
movie.
them,
They
right? I
do,
think
but
probably more of a
there was
novelty
definitely
tourist thing.
a drive-in movie because a lot of times people were not there for the movies. That was, usually the joke.
Oh, right, yeah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the young
Teenagers, the
couples, like yeah,
50s.
the common, the heck was that? The Blob,
Yep. And
1988.
so Joe Bob would contact a lot of these filmmakers and he or the distributors, and he'd ask where can he see the films, and they'd a lot of times point him to drive-ins, and then he would do articles, and then eventually his articles got picked up, and then he started working for the movie channel, and then eventually TNT, and then a lot of his work, part of this nostalgia thing that I think the millennials have been going through pretty bad. It kind of hit me very bad the last couple of months really hit me intensely, but this intense nostalgia, he's come back so on Shutter, which is cool as he does these.
For what specifically? A sort of era that
Yeah,
there's a
because
nostalgia
he
for? You're
just
saying
imagine,
millennials are
so
primarily
like
experiencing that?
I would say the nostalgia for people like going to the Blockbuster. The what a lot of
Right.
people want to do would probably go if it was the equivalency, if they could go to their 9 to 5, then
Hmm.
afterwards go to Blockbuster with their wife, kids, go
Which
shopping.
happened. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, but they would want to do that today. Go to Blockbuster, pick out something, go
I think it's
shopping,
yeah, it's the
get a pizza.
personal,
It's a
experience. I'm interacting, I'm out,
it's a communal thing
yeah.
as well, and you
Yep.
bump into people, and for the most
Absolutely.
part,
Oh,
the
you rented that? Oh, what did you think of that movie? This and
and you
that.
want to
And yeah, get to
ideally
see
you
the
want to keep
interact.
it in a pristine condition so everyone else could use it because rentals are already going to be
Please be kind.
used.
Rewind.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. But that there's a whole nostalgia period for that, and Joe Bob presenting the movies with the commercial breaks that aren't exactly it's like without the commercial breaks. The best way I would say to do it was just if you YouTube or wanted a video edit, you can just take commercials from the appropriate period because they do have his Monster Vision episodes online. For like they did a Friday the 13th all night marathon, so they have the full bumpers of the Monster Vision. So before the
Mm.
movie, he talks about like he'll be like, what kind of kung fu? Like machete fu. Talks about how many breasts are in the movie, how many kills, how many stars he'd give it,
Oh
and
God. Yeah.
drive-in totals. That's what he would call it.
Hmm.
And yeah, I remember him on Monster Vision on TNT as a kid. He was one of those figures that you'd see that made the movies less scary because as a kid I was kind of frightened by
So
horror movies and
so
like the
he was on
fact,
TV,
yeah.
like kind of
So you would
intro.
watch, say you'd
Maybe I
put
seen
TNT
him.
on and you'd watch
Uh-huh.
Monster Vision at 10 o'clock on Fridays,
So
and
you would
he'd
have
be,
his commentary. Was it
yeah,
throughout the movie or
it's
before
not
and
a
after?
commentary. He would basically break up the movie, kind of like Elvira or, uh,
Okay. Yeah. Now I know what
like
you're saying. Yep.
exactly. Like, so he was of that vein, but he was the only one of two critics that followed of Grindhouse cinema. Now
And plus,
it's,
he wasn't just. I guess I'm assuming he could write too, but just
oh
he
yeah,
was willing to go on camera
yeah.
and like he was a brand as
Well, he's a
well,
character because his name's
a
not Joe Bob
character.
Briggs. Like that's
Yeah.
that's that's his own character. And
Um.
David Cronenberg falls right in line of movies he would have reviewed because they
Mhm.
weren't. These aren't movies you're gonna see in the mainstream. Maybe Videodrome, since I think that had a wider distribution, but I think
So
Scanners
that was
and
after Scanners. That was the third.
yeah,
You're saying?
I
Okay.
think I'd say that also that's the first one with Rick Baker. I don't think the other two had Rick Baker. And
Was that?
Rick Baker is like, how do you say it? Like one of the most central figures in cinema makeup probably for the last 30, 40, maybe 50 years.
Oh, physical effects. He kind
Physical
of.
makeup. He did Bela Lugosi famously for Ed Wood, which he was very proud of. I think he got an Oscar for that. Um, and he believes he's a big fan of Dick Smith. I believe it's Dick Smith or Dick Clark, Dick Morla. I too many Dicks. Sorry, with the names. So there was a famous makeup artist that did the Frankenstein, Dracula. He studied under him,
Mm.
and he was like the large gap in between that. And I don't know if he's still working or if he
But
retired.
isn't
But
that something like where I don't know, I guess it depends on the filmmaker, but just how much in demand makeup, physical effects is
yeah,
versus CGI.
and
I think
so
I
like
saw somebody posted something like as far as just it's not makeup, but the physical effects of The Shining and the
mm-hmm,
pool of blood falling
yeah,
down the stairs. Apparently, that was actually blood
yeah,
that
and
Kubrick did, where that could easily be CGI'd now.
easily as well as probably ethically and morally and health wise.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was obviously
That's
not
that.
blood. It was probably just, red water or
Well,
whatever.
very.
But it's just, that was
It
thickened.
does help for the actors. That's the
Hmm.
big difference with performances, and a lot of what YouTube or even the algorithm wants now is more content like what we're doing. They want more errors because people are getting a little
What
sick of
type of
everything being
content is
so
that? What do you mean?
everything being so polished. They enjoy the ums and the real humanity of it, like the long form content podcasts.
Hmm.
People like podcasts to go at least an hour sometimes, so they could do a
Well,
specific
yeah, I
activity, a
think
drive.
this one is an hour, but I don't want to go longer than that.
No, no,
Folks
no, no.
got, I mean,
I'm
some,
not saying that at all.
but I
I'm
think
just saying
Rogan does that. I think he
right.
goes longer.
No, I'm saying
That's part of his style.
the format's part of, you know.
Hmm.
But with Cronenberg, did what was his name? Oh, sugar. He has white hair.
He was involved with the movie.
Rick
Okay,
Baker. Yeah, so
Baker.
he's a makeup artist. Rick Baker is one of my favorites, as well as Rob Bottin. Rob Bottin did The Thing as well
Oh
as
yeah.
RoboCop as well as Legend. So I was like,
Oh,
okay,
whoa.
okay. Or I think it was
Now you got
RoboCop
my
too,
attention.
right?
Okay.
That's so Rob Bottin was another big one,
He did
and
Tim Curry?
yeah, that
Oh
was
my
him.
God. Because that was an
And
experience that
that
gentleman went
guy,
through.
he and yeah, and you see how it's crazy, but even us working together, you're starting to understand maybe the film industry a little bit better. It's what days can you just show up? And Tom Savini did the first Friday the 13th. He wasn't able to do the second, not because
See,
he
he's
was
the only one I know of. I know there's obviously other makeup artists, and
right.
I guess did they blend in like makeup artists,
Oh
physical
yeah, of
effects
course. Well, that's the
folks,
other thing.
or they
It's
could do both?
Rick Baker's the big one. So he was, and that's the other thing. This is horror movies. Rick Baker
That's right. They would focus obviously in horror,
and
clearly, or science
that's the
fiction,
thing.
maybe.
Rob Bottin was a student of Rick Baker, who was a student of
Hmm.
Dick Smith. So it's like Rob
Oh.
Bottin is in that school of. It's kind of like
Where do
Stan
you learn this
Winston.
shit? You just pick this up and then they just
A lot of
like
a lot of the DVDs, Blu-rays when I used to watch them, I would
unbelievable.
start with the bonus features, and you'd see the same people show up a lot. Like
Yeah,
a
you'd notice the
costume
things.
designer I can name drop would be Edith Head from Paramount. And
Mm.
one of the reasons I know her is because she did all the costumes for Paramount, and there was a period of films that Hitchcock did. So every single bonus feature of every Hitchcock movie is usually qualified to get at least one bonus feature. They featured some talking heads speaking about Edith Head's design, and she also did Sunset Boulevard.
So
So
what
there's
she was a makeup artist?
no, she was a costume designer. There's
Okay.
basically there's sometimes there's like Wayne Gretzky's or just super dominant characters in the industry, like Rick Baker. That was the
Okay,
superstar
larger
of
than life
makeup.
figures that are just,
Yeah,
legends or whatever.
Tom Savini was the maestro of horror makeup because he also was in the Vietnam War and he actually experienced it up close and personal.
Oh my.
And he was a photographer
Oh
too,
my
so
God.
yeah,
Wow.
that's
So
one of
he had the mental, the
mm-hmm.
visual,
And he
because
did Dawn of
he
the
was
Dead.
Romero, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did
Yeah,
Dawn of
okay.
the Dead. He did the first Friday the 13th.
Oh
But what I
my
was saying
God.
with booking,
Hmm.
he wanted to, you can imagine he would want to do Friday the 13th Part 2, but he wound up taking another movie, which was The Burning, which is actually a little bit better than Friday the 13th Part 2. It's, well, I think it's the Weinstein's first produced movie.
What's
Jason
that about?
Alexander's in it.
That sounds familiar to me.
The Burning, it's kind of a story where a guy, it's a campfire story. So it's one of those where it's a guy in the woods. He gets burned. I forgot exactly why. He was like maybe the groundskeeper, and they
Hmm.
played a joke on him. And then, 20 years later,
Supernatural.
Yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
like
okay.
it's like a Friday clone, but it's
I
actually a
see.
better made movie. Like
Huh.
they don't start bumping the kids off till 45 minutes in. You
You have it
really
clocked,
like
right?
get
About halfway through the 90 minutes.
you get to like the characters, which is something
You got to
it's
build them up.
and Jason Alexander's in it, like a
Oh,
very
yeah.
young Jason
Was he
Alexander.
bald?
No, he has a full head of hair. He has a full head of
Have you
hair,
seen
and
the
he's
memes now with him? I don't know what the
yeah,
hell they're doing. I mean, people are just making him
he's
look
he's
handsome with
he's
a
a
nice
very
trim
meme.
beard.
No, he is a handsome man. It's just he's very memeable. He's
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That's
he also is
I-
he was one of the only actors on Seinfeld. He was also on Friends. He appeared on Friends. He
oh,
was
really?
he was more of an
Okay.
actor's actor of
Hmm.
he always considered himself, I think, a working actor,
Yeah,
which
he
he
seemed
is.
like a hustler, just a guy
Yes.
that just had to
He's the
work.
guy that he's like
I'm
that.
putting in the time, I'm showing up for the auditions to get to that point,
Oh yeah, and he was
for
Duckman.
Seinfeld.
He's always working. Like he still
Right. Was he the title character?
yeah,
That's
he was
why it's on.
Duckman.
Okay, yeah, that was on Comedy Central. Right,
And
yeah.
Jason Alexander has always had steady work, and he's done commercials. He's a talented
Hmm.
actor. But sorry, so let's circle back to David Cronenberg. Were talking about Joe
Yeah,
Bob Briggs.
but
W
just Videodrome itself, since it's more fresh in my
I just
mind.
watched that as well, so you can be as specific as
Like,
you like.
okay, so
First
I like how
impressions.
forward. I mean, let's be honest. How James Woods is attracted to this woman during an interview.
Hmm.
I'd really like to take you to dinner tonight.
Yeah, but she
He's
liked that
just,
too. That was the thing. She liked
I,
that.
yeah, because he felt the energy, and I just loved I guess it's the era, but just there's something with just as through the scenes, it's almost like Cronenberg, and I don't know other directors doing this, like letting it breathe,
Hmm.
just letting it flow.
No,
Just
and you
even the
see,
opening scene with what the heck was it? Woods. He was
with the
his secretary did the
yep,
recording, and he's like eating leftover
but
pizza. Shows he's a
it's a slow
bachelor.
pan, right?
Slow, yeah.
It's
And I'm like, God,
yeah,
this was good. It was just little stuff like that, and I know that's just
but that's how
one
Back to the Future starts. The first
example.
one, Back to the Future starts the
It's
same way
taking
with
its
that.
time. That's it. It's not
Yeah,
like rushing and quick cuts. Maybe that's what you're saying, like the same kind of shot or panning and over. And it looks like
but
what is
it's
it, Channel
organic.
28, and
It
just
also it's like you're establishing you're in his room. You don't need a million cuts. You just need to show
yeah,
it's
you feel like you're
and it
there.
feels organic. It feels like he
Yeah,
lives there. He feels like he lives there. That's the
and
important
so
thing.
that's a combination of obviously the acting, the the cinematographer, the director, just letting it, and an editing process, just like
Oh yeah.
as I've learned, with the
But
Bonfire of
Cronenberg was
Vanities book.
framing, and
Hmm.
Cronenberg had a few features up until this point. So I would say
Yeah,
Scanners
the
and the Brood.
experience. Yeah.
Scanners and Brood were there was also like 3 to 4 preceding those. So it's not like he hadn't worked, but he
Was
made
it a
his
bigger budget, Videodrome?
yes,
Or
Videodrome.
about the
Well, yeah,
same?
Videodrome had the biggest budget. It was from I think it was given by Universal as well, so there was some money given
Hmm.
there. And they had James Woods and Deborah Harry. That's
How
pretty
did
big
it?
deal.
Some of the special effects, like the moving videotape, and obviously that iconic scene with the moaning TV,
Hmm.
and you almost feel like, I think, what the heck was it? I think I've referenced it. Whatever, one of my notes, kind of promoting this. Like every man is James Woods in that moment. It's just like this seductive
Yeah,
lips on the TV, and you just want to
yeah,
meld with it, which I don't know he did,
yeah. And
and we
then
don't know if it's a dream
it's
or if
so
it's
hypnotic.
real. You know, it
And
wasn't
that's
clear. Maybe that's the point.
Come to Nikki. Yeah. That's
That's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I couldn't figure what was.
yeah, that was and it's Deborah Harry of all it's like
And
Deborah
she's a
Harry and
singer,
yep, from
right?
Blondie. Yeah,
So she
this
was. Was
this
this
is post
a first
Blondie's.
role? Okay,
Uh
so Blondie was.
so she was actually a model before Blondie, I believe, and then Blondie had broken up and she was going solo. So this is kind of a big
When
deal
was
for
their
her.
era? Like. Was that late
Blondie
70s,
was
early
late
80s?
70s, early 80s. Like
Okay.
they were like innovators of new wave and punk. Like they were in that scene.
Yeah. Well,
They were
yeah,
very
Vice
much
City. What did she do a song in Scarface? Was that it, or no?
Rush
I'm thinking of
Rush.
somebody else.
Rush Rush.
Okay,
Rush
yeah,
Rush to the yeah, yeah, yeah.
Grand Theft
That's
Auto
her
3. That's
solo.
immediately.
That's not
I think
Blondie.
of that, not Scarface. Oh, Scarface after that, I think, but
That's
it's
all right.
obviously from Scarface, so it's like just shows the association.
Yeah,
Whatever you
just
watch
go
or
to get
play
to a De
first.
Palma. Get to a De Palma. That'll kick in my recognition skills.
Yeah, if we're gonna cover him, I gotta see,
Oh no,
the
I'm
movies
probably
he
gonna do a
recommended.
solo, but of that, because De Palma I can go on for hours.
No, yeah, he's somebody that I know you've talked a lot about. Bonfire and that work, which was, what is it, The Devil's Candy.
Hmm.
That was really eye opening. And
Yeah,
for
and I
listeners
think
here, we have
that was
just
and
to,
that's also the behind the scenes story made you want to learn more about it, right? Tell me out,
yeah,
because you went through the movie, you went through the book, the movie, then no, you
yeah.
went through the
The
book,
author,
then the
what is her name? She,
Julie Salmon.
yeah, she's walking you through the making of, the behind the scenes, the relationship dynamic where De Palma was dating one of the actresses.
Mm-hmm.
She felt shunned,
Mm-hmm.
the actress, because it was her birthday, it was something, and he
It was
didn't.
his birthday, or
It
no,
was
I think it
his.
was his.
Yeah, oh, that's right. She threw a party for him, for De Palma, and he didn't.
And yes,
I don't know. He didn't. He
Spielberg
kind
was
of
there, or
minimized it or something,
he
or he didn't.
he
Her
didn't re
experience of it.
he didn't react, I think, in the way that uh
She
an
wanted. Yeah.
excited boy, yeah, an excited boyfriend would be, because he was
Then he
very
wound up
stoic.
what, marrying a producer, or getting
Galen
involved with.
Hurd, Galen
Yeah.
Hurd, who also was married to James Cameron, and Galen Hurd produced Terminators, and she did Raising Cain is the movie that they actually did together, and like in their backyard, which is another really good De Palma movie. It's a John Lithgow psychological thriller
Hmm.
with what's his face, Stephen Bauer as well. It's like a suburban, very early '90s thriller. I think you would like it. That time period's very well encapsulated in that movie.
Probably. I mean, you make good recommendations.
Uh,
Uh,
but so yeah, but
Other
Cronenberg,
Cronenbergs. I mean, I know you've seen a lot. I mean, what the heck did I see?
The Fly's
The,
one
the
he got.
Fly. Oh, yeah.
He
Dead
did.
Zone and History of Violence. I think I saw. I know he did some others.
So I would say the Videodrome would be the end of the trilogy, because after Dead Zone isn't really a very Cronenbergian film. It's Cronenberg directed it, but it wasn't a Cronenberg.
So
Like
that's
I
one of those
think he
examples where the directors need to work, right? So it's like
exactly.
he's recruited. Maybe he
I
has a sort
think
of
you get
vision.
that sometimes the directors need to get
Whoever
paid.
produced the movie, I don't know
Yeah,
which
like
studio.
directors for hire versus directors like making it. Like De Palma didn't write Bonfire. He didn't even
But he
want to
was like a
produce it.
horror director. Maybe that's kind of why they did that at
Yes.
minimum. I mean, it's not really. I don't
Well,
think there's much
sometimes
special effects and some of that grotesque stuff. It's obviously, I love the
right.
movie.
And
And the
Cronenberg
book was fantastic. I
s-
kind of read that last year, so kind of you follow that with Johnny.
and
His name Johnny
after
White, yes, or
but
something like that. Hmm.
it had Cronenbergian moments in the movie, but it wasn't very, when it wasn't
Not a
very.
signature.
Would you say it was similar to the three movies he did before, or like The Fly? I'd say The Dead
No.
Zone's nothing like
Yeah,
it. But that's him
good, but
becoming a
not like it.
more established director because he got The Fly, the remake of The Fly. That's a huge deal. That was probably a huge deal in the 80s.
Is that what he's like? What would you say is the movie he's most known for?
I'd say that's the movie commercially is known for. For me, it's either Videodrome, maybe Scanners, I would say.
Hmm.
The Brood is more of a niche one for Cronenberg. I like
So, like, with
The Fly.
did and yeah, and because of that breakout, and maybe Cronenberg reached a sort of status, fans, watchers, they would look back at his catalog,
Hmm.
and that's how some of these movies kind of resurface, right? I mean, like a cult
Mm.
status or a re-release, or
History of Violence.
what is that covers like Mondo or whatever? They kind of redo it in this
Oh,
like this
they'll do a
amazing
poster.
artwork,
So they'll do for so
a movie cover.
Mondo was a studio that used to, I don't know if they still do. They do posters, and they
Yeah,
would kind of do their own showings of the movies at their theaters. So they used to do like a unique poster.
and they
Cuz
just have such
that's
an interesting eye for like capturing, the
And
theme or whatever of the movie,
well,
you know.
that
So
actually became the major creative function of small businesses in New Vaudeville, I would say, is people's ability to interpret popular culture into something that's digestible and that's not currently on the market. Uh,
so fulfilling a need
Fulfilling a
that
need, and
you
that's
know
why I think
someone
New
might
Vaudeville
want.
works, because if I wanted to get like a
Can you just talk about that for a minute? What is that? I know we talked, but just for
New Vaudeville.
listeners, and I'm sure, yeah, it's not. I don't. I'm sure folks have heard it. Just
So New
acknowledge
Vaudeville
two. Hold on,
officially.
just two folks that joined us. Matthew is here, and
Hey, it's
someone,
Matthew.
and WJR Roughton.
The
Thank you for coming.
Thank
And
you.
I did learn, Matthew, if you're listening and not getting something to drink, if you're thirsty, is that I can do an invite guest thing here. So if you're here and you wanted to join verbally, let us know. Otherwise, if you're comfortable with the chat. All right, go ahead, Sap, about New Vaudeville.
New Vaudeville's actually was a concept in the 70s that I found out that it was something that they tried to go like a retro, almost like a what's the word? Straight edge kind of style. But I'd say New Vaudeville, for what I intend the purposes of it, is that the creators are going to be more in charge of the entertainment industry specifically, especially since it's like this age of Aquarius where creators like Maddox and myself are melding together to give you this content as we speak. And we come from very different backgrounds, but we have very similar interests, and we're doing different things at the same time, and we make time for each other and cross promote.
Yeah.
I also cross promote with the Cartridge Crew. It's another person I know, and just in general, every day it's being a content creator. You get to talk to people about ideas and strategies, and that's the
It's a
thing about New
lifestyle, isn't
Vaudeville.
it? It's
But
almost, yeah.
it's New Vaudeville is also a thing of everyone wants to bring each other up, because we're all going to be working for each other for other people in New Vaudeville versus like a company. That's where I think
Hmm.
like Substack, where I see you engage a lot of, do you people, not you people, but when you like my content, are you liking it because I read yours, blah blah blah, and it encourages that. But that's the other thing. It's, well, every platform wants eyeballs, and New Vaudeville, everyone has the attempt to get eyeballs on their platform, and everyone else wants everyone else to succeed. Hey, hey.
Oh, Matthew joined us. How you doing?
Hey,
Hi. Yeah, this is some kind of feature. We had a problem with the initial live stream. We had someone else come on. I'm sorry, I don't know. I guess she didn't find her way back on. Um, that you can invite guests during the session. I know we wanted you to come on, but couldn't happen. So um, anyway, so what? New vaudeville, yeah. So and it's like this is kind of experimental that I'm trying. Me personally, I mean, like some of the trying to look at if I mean this is fine what
are
we're
we getting
doing
a feedback? Are we getting audio feedback?
from you.
Yeah.
You sound fine.
Okay,
There's
because I'm hearing some audio feedback.
you know, I don't know. It's like a slight buzzing. I don't. Is that what it sounds like? Like a low hum. I don't know how it sounds to you.
Okay, maybe it's
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I know that when it's the streaming is done and we it goes live, it sounds much better than with us in the headphones. At least with me. And anyway, you got like a confused look, Matt. So
yeah, because okay, I know what's happening. There is a delay to where I'm hearing my own voice an entire minute.
oh
Oh wow. What's the delay on that, Maddox?
I don't know. He sounds like you're in real time to me. Um, I don't know. I'm not a technical guy at all. I think Matthew, I think based on our interactions, you seem like you know a lot more about this stuff. I'm just
I'm
happy
not
the
a
tech
technical
works.
guy.
Well, yeah, you showed me about the microphone. I mean, I don't know nothing. I'm like the guy at Best Buy walks in. I don't know. Where's the wire to plug in to the Nintendo 64? You know, the three color. But anyway, Matt, if it's really, I mean, I don't know if you wanted to just hop off and just join the chat. I don't know how to help you. I know Teams, but this platform, I don't know. But all right, I guess you'll figure out what you'd like to
Yeah,
do.
it's all blending together. I can barely understand anything you're saying. It's all blending together, and I can't understand anything.
All right,
I
Let
My
me,
apologies. I'm gonna duck out.
okay, thanks. That's
We
what I was
tried.
going
We tried.
to say. Thanks for trying, though. So, um,
Cronenberg, New
talk about?
Vaudeville.
No, yeah, but just on the new vaudeville, just with long form, I guess you call it that, like just written. Because I'm just trying to look at the media, like, because this seems like we could do this weekly. It's fine. I like this. It's more transient, where something written down, like I guess the articles, that seems to be the predominant in Substack. So
I
whether I
think
like
this
it or
is like
not, that
a.
means I got to type it up. You know what I mean? Look at it, edit it. Um, and some of the stuff that I've been thinking about, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like you'd rather be authentic, and it's just, I think I'm going to lean in that direction. So, I mean, like, I'm going to come out with a post that might be more experimental, because it seems like the platform, and I know we're taking a detour here from Cronenberg, and I guess that's the point of these podcasts, right? Is that, um, oh my God, is engagement, and growth and hanging in there and consistency. So that's what
Yeah, that's hard.
that's what I was going to say. Like, I think the algorithm boosts it if it does a post. I've noticed if you check the stats, the traffic tab, that seems to go up when you're having a post, and this technically counts as a post when this is done, this live stream,
Well, also,
or if you post a long form article.
Well, you're using tools they have on their platform to attract more people, so that's what they push. And
Yeah.
if you even use, I'd say the positives about Substack is it's a smaller, more open
They're quickly
community.
growing, apparently.
No,
So
no,
it's just, but yeah, smaller compared to the others.
of the social media networks. It's probably like a Lionsgate or a A24 at this point. It's like a big major. But I think that's one of the things about the new vaudeville thing. It's everyone wants to ideally work for themselves, and that's what I think we're going towards, where everyone's going to be their own vendor. Everyone's going to be providing. They're going to be their own supply chains, which would be ideal.
It's happening like a different, and
It
there's all
is,
sorts
and a
of
lot of
websites and freelance stuff.
and people want to do that. Like they're having more
Not
fun.
everybody, I mean, that's
No, but it's
yeah,
definitely
the
attracting
creators.
a large group of people. Like, I'd rather make content than, I don't know, or making content is fun. Like, as long as you can have fun. And I experiment with some of my stuff. I try advertisement, I try DVD covers, I try Blu-ray covers. And what I see take off, it always confuses me. Like, a video I could put 20, 30 minutes into, but versus me just going up an elevator, like, or an escalator, that gets like 5 times, or something.
Oh, you mean like a TikTok or something,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
or
okay, yeah.
I just have a video of me doing a vocal warm up just for fun. That's like a very
Yeah,
long video.
who knows?
But
It's
that's what
timing. Does it
gets.
resonate? Whatever. Yeah.
It also, with what you do here weekly, I think it gives us both an opportunity to speak live get that more authentic feel. Have a conversation. Also, you get to practice listening. Our delay obviously isn't as bad because I think we can hear each other pretty clearly. And we are able to encourage other people to come onto the show. And it was kind of cool because Andrew and I kind of had a split off of your show, and then you got to pop in. So I think, if
Yeah,
anything, it's like
yeah, he was
you
fun. Yeah.
inspired something, right? And then you just did
Yeah,
it
so
one
I'm not
day.
is he doing his own show now?
I think so.
I saw
He
some
said
graphic.
it says stay tuned. So
Okay.
I'm
I mean,
I'm
I don't,
no
yeah.
I'm
Um,
he and I talked about Bond, and I'm like, I thought,
mhm.
wow, I could still talk to him about Alfred Hitchcock for probably another hour. So
Yeah.
there's just certain topics, especially since he's from the country and takes pride in it. Just because, sometimes
Mhm.
people like are from the country. Like if you ask me about sports, like I'm from New Jersey, I don't know anything.
Oh, like a good representative. Yeah,
Right,
I
but
don't know.
like he's like, oh, he's British, but he also happens to like Bond and Hitchcock, who are both British.
Yeah,
It just
the
happens to
pop
be like,
culture there.
yeah, he has pride, and he has particularly pride in being a Bond fan,
Mhm.
which is kind of cool. I thought that was, and it goes along with his work, and his work brought him here,
Yeah.
and his love of Bond probably got him to do, So that's where I think maybe his story would maybe get more people to read about. Like, hey,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, it's a
did,
more of a
he had,
personalized. Yeah.
and he had service. And Cronenberg, I forgot what he went to school for. But what is crazy is what's his face? Terrence Malick. He's a filmmaker. He did Days of Heaven, Badlands, Thin Red Line. He did another Cannes Film Festival anyway, Tree of Life. He was a philosophy major at school, and he saw a movie Brian De Palma made, and then he just
Philosophy major. That's
yes.
interesting.
He was, and then he changed his major based off a Brian De Palma movie. And this was like 1960s De Palma before Sisters, or maybe it was Sisters.
He
Or De
started all the
Palma,
way back then, De
huh?
Palma?
De Palma's was in the 60s. Yeah, De Palma worked. De Palma was in the Brat Pack, essentially, of the new Hollywood filmmakers. Him, Scorsese,
I just didn't think
Spielberg.
back then. I thought
No, he was a
70s,
hippie.
but
No,
well, I
he
guess for
was
him to do Carrie, which was what, 74, he had to have some kind of
76.
portfolio.
Carrie
Okay,
76.
76.
But
He had to have some kind of
Sisters
portfolio.
Sisters was 73. And then he had his first experience on Get to Know Your Rabbit in 71. And then prior to him getting a studio thing, he had like three smaller comedies. Because he started as a comedy director with Robert De Niro.
That I just wouldn't imagine. But yeah, it seems
But
like where people
that's what,
start, right? Yeah.
yeah. And but I thought it was cool that Terrence Malick became a filmmaker based on one of De Palma's earlier movies. Like
Hmm.
that's what made him want to be a filmmaker. And Terrence Malick has very unique films.
So what are some examples of, I guess, some of his unique ones and well-known ones, Malik?
Malick, Thin Red Line is probably best known. Like I would say that's one you know.
Okay.
My favorite would be Days of Heaven. That has Richard Gere in it. Sam Shepard. He did Badlands, which also had Martin Sheen, and it had Sissy Spacek. And it was a really great movie about the 50s that didn't like glorify the 50s being the 50s. It just a movie that happened to be in the 50s.
Mm.
That, But
Yeah.
he does very, very beautiful atmospheric shots. He did New World. I don't know if you saw that with the Pocahontas, and it had.
Oh no, I saw that. We were talking about that with
It's a good
our
one.
daughter, like in how many different versions of
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it, Pocahontas there are out there. And
New
like I
World.
think what the heck were we wondering? Actually, no, hold on. Just like Disney did the Lion King and Aladdin. I'm like, where the hell is Pocahontas? And it's like I guess they attempted that with Brave New World. I don't know if that was a different
There was
studio.
there was
Uh,
two Pocahontas movies.
Brave New World. I don't think it. Brave World, right? Brave New World's the book.
No, the book for Pocahontas is the New World, just New World.
New World. I'm sorry. Whoa. I'm
And that's a
just.
Terrence Malick with Christian Bale and Colin Farrell. There's John.
That movie.
It's good. I thought it was very good. But that movie, you feel like you were in America in 1642. Like you feel like somehow he got his camera back in time.
I'm already thinking that's big budget right there.
Yeah,
it.
that was
To have that
was
feel.
that was one of his bigger budget movies, and
Yeah.
he did that after. The thing is, he takes forever to edit. Sometimes it's a bad thing, and famously, Adrian Brody was thought he was the star of The Thin Red Line, and not Cronenberg. Malick had re-edited it so much that he was barely in the movie, and he was so embarrassed at the screening because he's like, he thought he was the star, but like he
Well,
made
did he get a screen
he
credit?
got a credit, but it's just like just imagine having all your scenes cut out or the whole
Oh
direction of the
wow.
movie would, and that's the thing with
And
editing
he
is
had
you
no idea until the screening.
because
How
Malick
is that how they work? It just like they don't get a
depends.
sneak peek,
It
the
depends.
actors or
It
something?
depends.
Okay.
And Malick is
Jesus.
very
That is
Malick.
humiliating. Oh my God. I couldn't imagine about Brody there. Shit.
Malick is kind of like Kubrick in terms of how long he takes on his movies. Because Kubrick was very perfectionist, and he's like,
So
he didn't rush filming. He's
with
like,
that, yeah, the editing, is that typically done with the director, at least overseeing it, or are they personally, the splicing and all of that, that you might have somebody help them,
they
clearly,
so
right? Like, how does that
what's
work? I know they talked about that in the Devil's Candy, which, but if you could talk about that.
certain directors have some same editors. Thelma Schumacher's been Marty Scorsese's since 1980, since Raging Bull. She
So it
has
looks like they
and
just kind of have that
some people just
long-standing,
know the rhythm, so she'll know, or
right,
she'll probably maybe put
know
together a
his
rough.
style.
She'll probably put a rough cut together of takes, and then sometimes he can watch it and be like, "Is there
Oh.
another take of this?"
Oh, so okay, so hold on. Like they're filming a lot of footage, and there's always more footage of a
The
first
editors,
draft or whatever of the movie. Then the editor, let's just take her for example, might just all right. Let me take a look at this. I don't know how long, weeks or whatever it
starts
takes for her
molding
to
it,
do that.
starts
Yeah,
the clay,
molding it, and
starts.
then I guess does a screening to Scorsese. Well, I
Well,
guess they
they
did that with De Palma. They kept viewing the frickin' bonfire over and over again in different. Did
yeah,
that
so they
scene
did.
work?
Well, they do dailies too. So you shoot
Dailies.
everything at the end of the day. You watch everything you shot for the day. That's called dailies. So not
That
everyone.
you actually shot. You're
Yes,
saying,
not
and
everyone attends it, but
that's practice. That's typically what.
Yep, that's
And
us.
why is that? Just to see if like if you had a good day, was it productive? Did you capture that well?
Well,
Is
so
that the kind?
dailies can go to executives to monitor the progress of the movie.
Okay,
That's also
kind of
if you're
like
acting,
progress
you want to
notes
see how are you looking on screen? Do you need to make any changes? That I don't know if
for the
you've
next
ever.
day or whatever the
Yeah,
next scene.
and
Okay,
that's where continuity
okay.
errors come in, or sometimes that's where you notice performances just get better throughout the movie. Sometimes because like, oh wow, if they're shooting
Mm-hmm.
in a more sequential order, or they'll do reshoots later, because maybe the per
Uh,
character, like even with sitcoms. I didn't realize how much even
you
back
mean
in the
like
day
just to back up? So just like you're saying, the performance gets better. Like so, the actor
they get more comfortable.
they get a rhythm, right? They're getting more into character. They get a feel for it.
Yeah,
And so you're
because
saying, depending on how it was earlier, they might have to
think
reshoot it.
of Christopher Reeve day one of shooting Superman 1 versus day 72 of shooting Superman 2. Different
Right.
different energy altogether. You know,
Yeah. I mean, like, he's like, I don't know. I have an idea of
and
how I'm
that's
going to do Superman. I prepped for the role. I'm already kind
but
of,
he's also
6'2". I'm built. I
he's being
worked
groomed.
out. Right.
He's being groomed on like a multiple level of being a star as well. Not only of the movie, it's like you're being
At the
positioned
time.
to. Yeah, he's about to
Oh,
be on
because
every
whoever plays
magazine.
Superman is going to be a star. Is that kind
Of
of how it
course,
was?
he's
Because,
gonna be a
I mean, look at the
fuck.
name of the character, Superman, right? So,
He's yeah. So it's a very pressure filled role.
well, delivered,
Yeah,
clearly. Um, but yeah, so The Fly. Let's talk about that. I love that movie. I just love that movie. Uh, and
the
just
sugar
hold
scene.
on before we go in, acknowledge Matthew's comment. He said this a little while ago. Solopreneurs wear 30 hats instead of delegating. Yeah, I think that's probably back with the new vaudeville. Yeah, it's just yeah, you're your own business person. It's a lot of bullshit, and that's where I think some people just don't want to do that. They just want to work a 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how it's working to look in the future. But that was just a tangent. Let's go back to The Fly because I think we have 10 minutes left. I just wanted to acknowledge Matthew. So, love Goldblum. All right. Jesus. Just a scientist that's already kind of crazy. And Goldblum has this intensity to him that really did that with Seth Brundle really well. Just and Gina Davis were they in a relationship at the time, or did they meet on set?
I'm not sure
Because
exactly
if they
the
were,
timeline.
because clearly that helps. Obviously,
Well,
regardless,
yeah, that gives you
they
that
had
like
chemistry.
Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, like that a lot of time, or Zendaya, Tom
Okay,
Holland. It's just it's not the
and
chemistry's
the chemistry is
real.
there,
It's already there,
but
and so
just the story is kind of haunting, and that's a remake, right? Where I think the earlier movie was just I didn't see it, but
it's not bad. It's in that 1950s like style
style like the
horror.
Munsters, right?
Yeah, it's like you
But
got the head switched. It's a more
that's how they did that.
it's a more primitive version. Still good
Yeah,
though. Vincent
and
Price was in it. So-
then again, where was the? And I'm not even sure as far as was that. And this is something else I picked up from talking with you is just with movies. Are these book adaptations or they're just kind of original screenplays? For the
I
original
think it
Fly, but
might have been a book. I wouldn't surprise me because almost
yeah,
a lot of movies are based off of books. A lot.
that has been something. Yeah, it just
And
I think Jaws is one. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
and I think that's
You know,
what's Congo is based off a book, not
yeah,
immediately, but the
just yeah,
a lot of
it's
Hitchcock movies are based
so
off of
I
books.
mean that makes me feel good about my freaking
It
book
does.
as a
I
movie.
think it also means that everyday people are writing movies that people are adapting. So these are
Yeah,
some
it's
people
just
have more stories to tell than others. Others are very happy with the one story.
it's phenomenal. Yeah, but with with the Fly, um, just the slow, of the character's arc, and just how the accident happened. The Fly got in because I don't know if he was drunk or frustrated. He wanted to test it. It worked.
And he
I
rushed
think I
it.
don't know
He
what he
rushed it.
did.
He
Huh?
rushed it. He rushed it.
Yeah. I
I
think
think that's a scientist
that's right. He
cliche.
had Gina
Scientist.
Davis taste the steak, and it's like this tastes artificial, and that kind of gave him the clue, and he kind of fixed it with the programming. But the accident happened. Obviously the cloning, he didn't realize it at the time, and you can imagine you as Goldblum freaking out, like, oh Jesus shit, what the hell is going to happen to me? Can I reverse this? And that was obviously the last ditch effort that he attempted that do. Which failed. The movie's ending, which I thought, what was it? Davis's whatever the editor I think saved her with the shotgun to the wire. It severed the connection. And he was killed off, but which stopped it. But just the physical effects, and I'm guessing that was Goldblum in the bodysuit. Yeah, it had to be. It's like. So it was very chilling. The music was
I think it was Howard Shore who did a lot of Cronenberg's.
yeah,
Good.
it was that was a good one. I don't know. That's one that kind of stays with you.
Cronenberg,
and it's like,
so I'd say
really, got some good intense scenes, and just like, everything was just really on point. So yeah, I don't know if that might be my favorite one of his. And just I guess the last couple minutes, I guess just the history of violence, which is more.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Several years later. I don't know how the hell I
20,
saw it. Like
almost 20. Yeah.
I think I learned after the fact it was Cronenberg. Sometimes you're not necessarily paying attention. Like, you see the movies on, who the hell's directing this, whatever.
That's like one of those movies that did the slowness in the 2000s very well. Like The Fly
Vigo was
The Fly had a faster pace than Videodrome, and
yeah.
like that's what I think. I also noticed.
Yeah,
like the long
Videodrome kind of
takes,
got you thrown right into it.
because that's more of a studio movie. This is going to be for
that was 90
audiences.
minutes too. The Videodrome. I don't know how long Fly was, but because I don't
Yeah,
know, for some
the
reason I
video
just
drum
remember.
flies. The video drum, it just
Yeah.
ends. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but like history, it's the character that Vigo's character is a former mob guy that's trying to get away from that life, it seems like, and then he's kind of discovered by this robbery gone wrong, and he kind of uses his former mob skills to take out two men in graphic fashion, of course, where you're seeing the jaw open after he's got his fucking head shot in, which is, oh my god, I forgot his name, but he was in Owlman. He's a known character actor in the older Owlman in The Watchmen. What's his name? Whatever. So, and just that arc, and just in how, I don't know, there was like something that just sticks with me, and I'll just kind of maybe that in that movie, and it just shows how intensity affects, I guess, sexual attraction. Like Maria Bello was, his wife in there.
That stair scene.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? But it's like you understand. It's like
It's very intense. Yeah.
I could, like what happened there? It's like obviously she's like doesn't know what to feel, but obviously she's grateful at a visceral level that her husband, this man,
knows how to do that.
Didn't know that he was able to do to save them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm intensely attracted, yet I'm ashamed of that.
Mm-hmm.
So after the act, she, whatever, throws him off. He's not even in a celebratory mood. He's just like, what the, it was just like,
it's a very interesting scene.
Very human. I mean, it was just like, what a scene. It was just kind of, it happened. It was quick. I know it's just,
it's kind of the opposite of the Thomas Crown Affair stair scene.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but it was probably.
I'm just making a joke about
more romantic
scenes on
slow.
Stairs. Yeah. A very comfortable place to go do it.
It just shows the
spontaneity of that one. Yes, that one seemed more realistic than the Thomas.
Because of just our emotional needs and just how we think about things. It's just like, because obviously she's feels betrayed that she did not. Her husband has been lying to her all these years and had children with him. And now you find out, but yet, okay, he saved us. So it's like, what the, it's like, how do you process that? So, Cronenberg, I don't know who wrote it, but obviously it was film decided, let's, we're going to capture that moment in that way. So it's like, the body, the visceral, the psychology of it. He also did Existence, which I think I saw.
I was going to say that.
Scenes
Existence
with the gun.
Yep.
I don't know. I probably need to see that first, but that's a lot of body horror in that one.
Dead Ringers, that's a good one.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I got it.
Jeremy Irons plays twin gynecologists. That's very interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
M. Butterfly
I saw.
is an adaptation he did. Crash is with James Spader, I think, and Holly Hunter. It's a very acclaimed movie. I need to watch it.
Is that the ensemble?
No, that's two different Crashes. There's a 90s Crash, and then there's a
Cronenberg
Crash, and then there's that Crash.
Okay.
And then Cronenberg, probably Eastern Promises.
Yeah, I heard that was a popular one. I think that was with Vigo again.
Mm-hmm. Map to the Stars, and then Cosmopolis, which that was the movie that, for me, I understood that Robert Pattinson was better than most people gave him credit for. A 2012 movie.
He's had to start with the Twilight, right? I mean,
it was 2008 was like Twilight.
Which, to be honest, that's all I knew him for. I mean, I'm a pleb.
No, yeah, but
you've probably followed his arc a little bit more involved.
And
so
when
is he American or British? Gotta ask. Sorry.
I don't know.
Because it's like sometimes you can't tell.
I'm not sure. He's
like some people think Christian Bale's American.
Yeah, well, I think Pattinson's good. He's a great Batman. I just think it's frustrating we have to wait so long. But
for the sequel, yeah, that you're looking forward to.
But certain times I'm like, okay, Cronenberg wants to work with him. What does that say? I think about what director, and even with Justin Timberlake, David Fincher worked with him like numerous times. He worked with him on The Social Network as well as Inside Llewyn Davis. So I'm like, okay, and Justin Timberlake's not bad if he's directed well. If he's directed
Yeah,
well. If he's directed
absolutely. I
well.
agree.
And
Yeah,
he
it's kind of
has
that surprise
potential.
there.
He's not, and
Yeah,
yeah, well, he's also a performer, so he gets it. I just think kind of like a
yeah, kind of that
producer.
crossover.
Like a director could be like a producer very much, but the producer in music is very powerful too, just like in a movie. It just
Yeah, the
depends.
make or break, right? Yeah, depending
Yeah.
on the well, how much leverage the performer has. Um, okay, we're at the hour mark, so I'm going to stick to that and respect that because I have seen some podcasts go on for 3 hours. I think there was some, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about for 3 hours? Also, what else you got going on? I don't know. But everybody's got different, you know, whatever obligations. It's 10 o'clock here. You know, I got to go to work. But so that's why we just have this time slot, just for my kids. And thank you for Sappy. You're accommodating my schedule. So thanks everyone for joining and listening. We're figuring this out as we go. I hope listeners, this is helpful. So just kind of let us know in comments, when this post or because I don't see the I mean, when we post, we don't see the comments here. Not that there was many, but when we post, just kind of feedback. I want to see about next week if reach out to some of those other folks who had expressed interest earlier. Just kind of ping them and see, how that goes. But all right, well, so thank you, the Sappy Sorcerer, and hopefully
Thank you, Maddox.
this was fun talking about David Cronenberg and some other
Cronenberg.
topics and new vaudeville. So
Everybody
everybody
do a Scorsese
have
episode.
Is it or they? But
I know you'd love that one, Scorsese. You can probably go toe to toe.
to have a Scorsese, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could definitely.
I
do.
would want to. Yeah, I think we should probably do like a
Goodfellas and
director
Casino.
series
I
or
think
something.
you could do like 40
fuck it,
minutes
yeah,
on.
just those two. Yeah, but yeah,
There's
I think,
a lot of other ones.
Honestly, I think
those two.
I think we said it. Like whenever we do either the next one with just us two, we'll see about next week. But I want to do Scorsese. I think that's a director series that'll be interesting.
Okay.
All right. Well, so take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.